Welcome back to 1010's podcast. This is Michael and Adam and Robbie, and we are back again this week in the yet unnamed studio. But
I gotta scoot in a little bit,
Yeah.
so people can see me
yeah, it looks a little better.
and my sweet shirt.
It's a nice,
yeah.
it's a great shirt.
Everybody should check out the YouTube video, and we can see Adam's 1010's podcast Gulf livery or livery, however you want to say it.
It's a parody logo.
Parody. Sorry, it's a no. Sorry, it's the 1010's podcast parody shirt,
Yeah.
and it is available on the shirt store. But it actually did turn out
Yeah,
quite
it's
amazingly
really good.
well.
I
Really
like
nice.
it. It prints very well.
It printed well. Thomas did a really nice job
Yes, he did.
with the logo.
It looks super good.
So if you guys are into that kind of stuff, you should definitely hit up Thomas because we are not at all responsible for any of that design.
No, that's not ours.
That is a TR medium design. You should hit him up.
Yeah, you need some design work done? Hit up Thomas.
Yeah.
If you can't find him, let us know.
But that looks pretty cool. I like that. So that's available on the store. Some people bought them. I saw some people were getting them. So that's very cool. If you're interested, you can go to 1010spodcast.com or to the YouTube channel, which you should be subscribed to anyway. You can see Adam wearing it live right here in front of me.
Right now.
Right now.
I probably still am wearing it when you're watching this. 'Cause
That's weird.
I just wear it all the time.
Maybe you should just take it off and wash it every once in a
No.
while. Maybe at night.
I take a shower every day. It's fine.
I think you have to wash your clothes, though.
Do I, though?
I think so, yeah. According to society.
Social norms.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's like saying you need to wash your towel.
It's never been my strong point.
Didn't you have a roommate that didn't wash his towel?
Oh, yeah.
in,
for sure.
in college or something like that? Absolutely.
But he didn't, like...
Gross.
It is
It
disgusting.
was also very hard to get him to shower, period.
So he wasn't using his towel, so maybe he didn't need to.
but
Maybe
yeah,
he didn't
And
wanna
he
wash
was
his towel.
going to school for diesel mechanics.
Oh.
And we just called him Stinky, like straight to him. Like there was, I don't even remember what his name was. He was just Stinky.
You think eventually you'd want to not be stinky, and
Yeah,
you would,
you'd think
you would stop.
Well, he would like giggle, like laugh, like ha. No, dude, I'm serious. You smell terrible.
Take a shower.
No, I
And,
think
like,
he was.
one day, one of my roommates got like really violently angry about it, and like we just about like tied him up and threw him in the shower, type of deal.
Sounds weird.
It came to a problem.
Yeah, I see that.
He didn't live with us very long.
I get that.
Speaking of washing, is that pre-shrunk?
I don't know because I just washed it. And
Yes.
then wore it.
Oh, so you didn't wear it before you. It is pre-shrunk?
It says it right here.
Okay, Robbie says it's
I have this
pre-shrunk.
thing about making sure my clothes are washed before I wear them if they're not white because I don't want to be dyed whatever color they are.
Is that a thing that happens?
It happened to me once
Well,
with,
if you throw
with
a red
bed
shirt,
sheets.
yeah, throw a red shirt in with a bunch of white clothes.
No. Like, I'm worried about like if there's dye and it
Gets on his
turns
skin.
me blue.
Oh,
Because it happened to me once with flannel sheets. I didn't
Was it on
wash
your
them.
face?
Dude, I woke up the next morning like jean blue. Like
Never
head to
heard of
toe.
this before.
Head to toe. The whole,
definitely
and so
wanna
now I
wash them.
wash everything before I wear it. I don't even put it on, just throw it straight. I took it out of the bag, threw it in the wash machine, and washed it. I didn't even try it on.
I know nothing of this. I didn't realize that this
It's
was a problem.
probably
It's a thing.
complete and total paranoia, but also sometimes they just, new clothes kind of smell a little funky sometimes,
If they've
especially
been
when
in
they're
a-
shipped.
in a plastic bag or something like that.
You don't know
So
who's
I
been
just-
handling
So
them.
I just wash them.
You don't know what warehouse they've been in full of rats.
It's like when you come home
Fleas.
with new dishes, you don't like.
just eat off of them?
Yeah, you
no.
wash them
Because
first.
anybody in the store could have been
Touching them?
Yeah, exactly. So that's how I.
No, I'm with you. That's more how I operate. I
know.
didn't realize that
It's
dye
probably
would.
a weird thing.
get
it's
on your
probably
skin.
total bullshit. But
It happened to you once. I guess
Yeah.
it's a thing that could happen to
it
people.
almost ruined, a day in high school for me.
And those are high
Thankfully-
stakes.
Thankfully, it washed off pretty easily. But yeah, it was a deal. My face and everything, because I had a pillowcase, the whole 9 yards.
That's hilarious.
It was bad.
PSA for the kids out there.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Before we do your opener, I had something I wanted to share that you guys don't know about yet. Have
God.
you seen this thing that the kids are doing?
Eating Tide Pods, I'm pissed about it.
No, well, yeah.
Because I
it
really
is-
like Tide Pods.
It
Yeah,
is.
they're gonna ruin that for us. I'm
Yeah, I
really
know.
mad.
I'm going to be super mad about it.
Well, you've seen now that they're putting them behind the counters now, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Which is ridiculous.
So don't eat the Tide Pods. That is the second PSA for this episode. The third PSA for this episode is kids are participating in Ponzi schemes or pyramid schemes. It's a Ponzi scheme to buy car parts. Have you seen this?
Like Mary Kay for car parts?
No.
Like a GoFundMe. I need to finish my car.
So how it works is, and I've only seen it maybe twice, but then I saw it on a news thing, so I'm thinking maybe it's probably more prevalent other places, and maybe like kids that are like, I don't know, 15 or
Yeah,
something.
I was going to say, define kids.
Yeah, I think younger, probably I would say less than 20. I'll put it that
Okay.
way. Maybe less
Teens.
than 22.
Just like barely
Teens.
even have a car.
Yeah, but they're broke
Right.
generally.
Yeah.
So how this works is it's literally a pyramid, which is the really funny thing about it. But what it is you put this thing out there and you say, okay, you buy into my, you don't call it a pyramid, I don't know what you call it exactly, but you buy into it for $100, and then based on the order that you enter is where you end up on the pyramid, so people on the video can see. But basically the first person that generates it is at the top, and then the next 2 people get the next row, and then the next 3 people get the next row, and then the next 4 people get the next row. And then there's a predetermined number of spots on there, and everybody pays in, say, $100. And then when you hit the capacity of the pyramid, the top person gets paid out. So if it's a 10-spot pyramid, everybody pays in $1,000. The top person gets, or everybody pays in $100. The top person gets $1,000.
And then he moves out.
He moves out. Next person moves up. And I think how it works is you add a row or you add 2 rows.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And so then people have to buy those spots, put money in. Then the next person gets popped out with $1,000, and then it just keeps going. So in theory, the idea is if you stay in it long enough, you get $1,000. You put in 100, you get out 1,000. That's a Ponzi scheme.
This is the same thing as you put it $5 in this envelope and you send it out. You remember that back in the day?
No, what is it? Explain it.
It's the same concept. You put money in an envelope and then you're supposed to come back 100-fold. Like you send it out to like 5 people and then they send it out to 5 people and they send it out to 5 people and then you're supposed to send money to like the last 5 people in line.
That's straight up
Same
a pyramid
thing.
scheme.
Yeah, that's been around.
So anyway, it stops working as soon as people stop putting money in it.
Which is
That's a Ponzi
probably
scheme.
almost immediately.
As soon as the first person bumps out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like probably the first.
Because you can only find so many idiots.
I think it
So
worked.
when you run out of idiots, then your pyramids just stalls out.
I think it worked for a while though. I think some people got paid out of the deal. The FTC would like to talk to you, the Federal Trade Commission, but you know,
Jesus.
you got paid out of the deal. It's crazy though. People fall for some really dumb stuff.
Because at some point, somebody has to lose money.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you
No,
can't.
there's the
there's
money
no
just
end
keeps
game.
it
There's
keeps
no
coming in.
There's no end game.
That's the whole Bernie Mac thing. That's how Bernie Mac made all that money. Is that
right.
as long as the
Madoff.
money's coming in, or
Bernie
Madoff,
Madoff.
yeah, Bernie Madoff.
Which is the most hilarious last name given the situation.
As long as people keep putting money in, it's fine. As soon as people stop putting money in is when the whole thing falls apart.
But what I'm saying is there is no scenario where everybody wins.
No, you
Eventually,
Somebody has to get screwed.
whether it's after the first guy cashes out or the millionth guy cashes out, somebody gets screwed eventually.
yeah, absolutely.
How do they not realize that?
I don't know. They're really young.
Greed.
It's definitely greed.
Yeah, that's the other thing is if I was guy number 1, I don't know that I could
Sleep at night.
sleep at night.
Knowing you just basically took those people's money.
Yeah.
But you know what else is really annoying that I've noticed? People are raffling things now instead
Yeah,
of
that's a
selling them.
popular thing too.
I hate that. You don't know about this?
No, I know
So
auctioning. That's different.
No, I'll explain it because I'm sure there's other people that haven't seen it. So I see it a lot with watches, but also I'm seeing it with cars. What they'll do is they'll have a car and they'll say, I'm selling 50 spots for this car at, $1,000 a piece, or 500 spots at $100 a piece. The really weird thing about it is they'll do it through PayPal, and it's secure, sort of. So that's what's weird because people could pull their money back, if they don't win, file a complaint with PayPal.
Yeah.
But I assume you use the PayPal commercial, commercial
so it's
paying thing,
gone.
and so it's gone. But the weird thing is they'll have a car that's $35,000, but they'll sell $100 spots. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so they'll get $50,000 instead of $35,000.
and then one guy gets it.
Yeah, it was there was a company that made those. What was it? 880 something or other, or whatever.
Yeah.
They kept doing that with GTRs and
Yeah,
stuff
they
like
still
that.
do. They're a Facebook page and they're giving away shit all the time. I've seen them give away Evo 10s. I've seen them give away diesel trucks, like bro dozers.
So it's the same thing, but it's more legitimate.
I've never actually looked into if you have to pay for the opportunity to win the car, if you buy a ticket. I've never actually looked into because it's a scheme.
Well, that
It's still
They're
bullshit.
making money somewhere. In
Yeah,
there,
and most of the time, I don't even want the car they're trying to raffle off anyway because It's some ridiculous thing. But like I've seen them trying to sell like 800 horsepower Supras and crazy, or giving away, quote unquote, like these crazy cars.
Yeah.
There's got to be a hook in there somewhere.
It's the same thing as Deal Dash. You've seen those commercials on TV?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
I bought this laptop for $32.
Yeah.
But it's $1 a bid. So the
Right.
company went to Walmart, bought it for $500, sold it for $32, but actually made $3,200.
Yeah, because when you have to, because you'll look at that thing and it's like bids are a penny or something,
Penny a piece.
and you'll see that the number of bids is like 3,000. You're like, well,
It's $1 a
they're
piece.
ahead. So, but if you, in theory, if you're the last bidder and that's the only bid you submit,
Have you ever done that?
no, I've never done. I watched somebody else do it. I was like, dude, you're fucking crazy. Stop doing
the
it.
timer doesn't end until somebody stops bidding. So if it's 1 second left and you bid, adds 30 seconds. Then somebody
Oh
else
my
bids,
God.
adds 30 seconds. It doesn't end until everybody quits.
So it almost never ends.
I think
It
there's
eventually
one,
ends.
I think there's one now that has a hard deadline or a hard stop point
Is it?
though, because there's a couple of games I play on my phone that every once in a while you got to watch an ad,
Oh, yeah.
and there's one like Top Hatter or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That I mean, I just see the ad, but it says something in there about 1 minute auctions.
Keeps going, though. I'm
Right. Well, I don't know. It might start over again. I don't know, but
It might just be as many bids as they can get in a minute.
Yeah,
you know,
who
maybe
knows?
they can get 1,000 bids in a minute.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
One person wins, a bunch of people lose.
It's a wild world out there. So don't pay for your car parts with a Ponzi scheme or a GoFundMe.
Definitely don't do GoFundMe.
Yeah, just don't. Just don't.
Those
do
are for
things.
charities and special need situations.
right.
Absolutely.
Not greedy fuckers.
There's one.
Don't sugarcoat it, Robbie.
There's one like 6-8 months ago. I almost like talked about on the show as like an opener or something like that. But some kid got a bunch of like crazy speeding tickets in his Honda
I
Civic
see those all the time.
and put it on there. And people thought it was like he wrote some bullshit thing and it was kind of funny or whatever. And he like made his money tenfold because people just, I'll throw $5 in. This is funny.
Not funny.
But the people who really need that help don't get a dime on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad deal. Don't do it.
No.
Just mind your own business, really.
Pay your tickets.
Pay-
asshole.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, let's do Adam's opener presented by Factor Fabrication.
So this week, I was cruising through my Facebook and I saw a link to these guys that make wallets. And I know Robbie has a special place in his heart for his wallet, and so I'm sure that this is not going to
Uh-oh.
be good enough for Robbie because
see.
you know how Robbie is about things. If
Hand me your
Robbie
wallet,
if Robbie decides that he likes it, it's by far the best thing in the world, and there's no way you're going to sway that opinion.
What is this, Ferragamo? Oh, this is amazing.
It's Saddleback Leather.
Saddleback leather. Oh, that's right. We've talked
It's got a
about this,
100-year
haven't we?
warranty.
Yep. Okay. Fair enough.
The ugliest that it ever looks is the day I got it.
I'm holding your card. Not that our camera is high enough resolution to see, but I'm being conscious of your cards.
I don't
Robbie.
carry cash.
Well, yeah, I
a
know.
little bit
I'm
of
just
cash
looking.
Is there
at
cash in
He's worried
there's a
about
20.
people
There's a 20 in there.
getting your credit
Oh,
card
shit.
numbers off of that.
Yeah, I just wanted to look at it.
Enhance.
Enhance.
So anyway,
So these guys make them out of vintage automotive interior fabric.
Like, oh, really? Like, straight?
Yeah.
Well, that's rad.
And they're super cool.
and they're not overly
They're
expensive.
very reasonably priced.
what's the price on those?
Like $32.
Oh, so what you're saying is some dude's been sweating in a Camaro seat for 40
Now, they
years.
claim that this is all
Replica.
new old stock or replica.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
That this,
so-
they didn't like go down to the junkyard and cut a square out of a 70 or out of a 67 Camaro bench seat.
Maybe they need to.
I'm a
They could sell it for triple the price.
Oh, they for sure could. Are you kidding me? Hipsters
dude,
would buy that.
I know, but my tolerance for this is super low because the new thing now is there's been a couple companies that design absolutely garbage
God
fucking
damn it.
watches.
God damn it, Robbie.
It's vegan. Thank you.
It's a
Robbie.
classic brown vegan wallet.
What's a vegan wallet?
I don't know, but
Vegan leather.
Meaning it's not leather.
It's not leather.
So it's pleather.
Yes.
plastic leather.
So anyway, what they do is they get like the smallest, most minute piece of metal from some car, like a Camaro or a Ferrari or something like that, and then they say, "Oh, it's built with parts from a Ferrari," and then they get this guy to notarize this certificate saying it's officially a '63 Ferrari 250 GT, blah blah blah, and it's a $5 watch, and they sell it for $250. I'm like, this is such a scam.
So hit that second link on there, Bobby.
Sorry about that. Yep.
This is the one that I would buy if I were buying one.
The GTO wallet.
So it's made out of the trunk fabric of an old GTO.
So it's vinyl then, correct?
It's like
that
the vinyl
stuff.
fabric stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a little more
Interesting.
resilient for the wallet.
Houndstooth. Good sir.
So I think this thing is rad.
That's kind of.
It's a pretty cool little wallet because
Is this Spencer's company?
What's it called?
No, it's a red bearded guy holding
it
the
looks
wallet.
like Spencer in the background there for sure.
Conspiracy.
No,
They're all
well,
the same person.
The new conspiracy is that there's 15 to 20 red bearded gingers on our group.
But it's
We have
only,
an
only
oddly-
one human.
It's only one
We
person.
have an oddly large number of gingers given their population statistics.
Yeah.
We appeal to gingers in some odd way.
Gender lives matter.
Absolutely. You know how I feel about gingers. But
Oh, it looks nice on the inside.
I think these are really cool.
That is
because
kinda cool.
It looks like a nice wallet. I know that, that fabric outlasts most of the cars they put it in. So it's probably semi-resilient. It's got to be a pretty decent wallet. I think they're cool. I would own one.
For
they're
$25?
reasonably priced.
Yeah, for $20 to $30, they're
Yeah.
not bad.
What's wrong with that?
They make
Just curious.
guitar straps and stuff
right
like
there.
that.
Oops, sorry.
Do they?
Yeah, they make some really
Nice.
cool.
This is
Well,
a
actually, I
cool
think that's
company.
what they originally did. It's like couch guitar straps,
guitar
is,
straps.
is the the company, and I think they originally started making guitar straps out of stuff like that, and then moved into wallets. But they have like ladies' wallets, billfolds, a bunch of different designs. There's old Volkswagen ones. They use like Volkswagen Beetle material to make it, and I just think it's kind of cool.
Very interesting.
It's a little late now, but that's a really good
It's a good,
That would have been a good
Petrolhead
Christmas gift.
Christmas
actually.
gift.
That's a great
It
one.
would be. That
because
would be
it's
good.
not outrageously priced, but it's pretty unique. And who doesn't need a wallet?
Everybody needs a wallet,
Except for Robbie.
except for me. I'll never.
Robbie does
I'll
not need a
never
wallet.
ever need one again. And mine's not vegan.
Oh, jeez. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
that
dude.
was-
Vegan leather. I ran into it the other day.
Christ.
It's like, that is an oxymoron. That
really
does not make
upset
any
by it.
sense at all.
All right, couch guitar straps. Where's your warranty?
Jeez, Robbie. Shut
For
the
a
website.
$30 wallet, you really think
that's
you're
all
going to
good.
get a
They're
warranty?
Cool. They're cool though.
Even if it lasts me a year and I got to buy, that could be my revolving Christmas gift. I'd be perfectly okay with that.
I can see it lasting longer than a year for
I'm
sure.
sure it will,
Yeah.
that vinyl stuff.
Yeah, that stuff's like nuclear bomb proof.
Yeah. I like the
So.
stripes though, the racing stripe ones.
Yeah, there's some cool ones in there. They've got quite a few pages of different stuff in there. Not all of them are automotive related.
No,
the
I got the
materials they use, but there's a lot of cool things. They make really neat stuff.
I like it.
So
Guess what
kind
we
of-
need to talk about?
it's kind of hipster trendy for me.
Speaking of hipster trendy things,
Jesus Christ.
Robbie, did you have a wonderful brunch on Sunday?
I overate like crazy.
Did you really? But it was wonderful and
a-
delicious.
It was the longest lunch I've had probably ever.
Booty?
Two,
Oh,
for
two
sure.
full hours.
Booney from Factory
It was
Fabrication
an hour and a half
took us to
longer than it
brunch.
needed to be.
No way. I
Yes.
could have
And,
sat there for another hour.
Look at this delicious meal in front of us here. This is the eggs, salmon eggs,
No, king crab.
king
Or
crab,
wild crab. Wild
yes,
crab.
yes, and that was
Eggs
hummus,
Benedict.
eggs Benedict with hummus.
Hummus was good.
We had basically a beef tartare dish, which
Yeah.
was incredibly delicious. It was wonderful. We had cheese and meat platter.
I was fine with the meat and cheese platter. Well,
Some of it.
Some of it.
75%.
You didn't
of
like
it.
the really moldy cheese. You weren't about that.
It wasn't the taste was fine. The texture was a little weird for me. And most of the time that I don't like something, it's a texture related issue
Yeah.
more than a taste related issue.
Oh, and bottomless coffee.
Bottomless coffee.
I bet I
was
had-
that woman was
shoveling
popping
that
us.
coffee down.
I
Full
bet
of
I had
coffee.
2 pots.
She just kept bringing it.
I would
It was
take
like,
2 drinks of my water and she'd be there to refill it. I
Uh-huh.
was like, Jesus.
it's rude not to drink it.
The
The
old-
problem with that is when they put it in those little
Saucers.
saucer coffee, the little tiny coffee cups. The heat dissipates so quickly
You have to,
that you
like,
just
chug it.
keep drinking it,
Uh-huh.
and then they come back and bring you more, and then it's rude not to drink it,
And
so
I
you
don't-
drink all of it.
I don't
But
want to
they're
see it
not
get
making
cold.
money on that.
No.
No, not on the coffee.
But we were there for 2 hours and had 4 courses.
Yeah, we
So
do
they
a
made their
lot of
money.
things.
What did you have?
we had a pizza as well. I forgot to.
Yeah, I'll say-
There was a pizza in the
We had a
middle.
Pizza was actually pretty good.
Yeah. It was
So
good.
my issue, like as I'm reading through the menu, there's a lot of words on there I didn't know.
There's a lot. They're just food words.
Well, yeah, but there are things I didn't have any idea what I was getting myself into,
Words like aioli.
Google.
which is apparently is a fancy term for mayonnaise.
It's fancy mayonnaise. Yeah.
That's fine.
I dislike mayonnaise so much I can't even put it on a sandwich for Katie.
What?
It makes
You're
me
from the
It's
Midwest.
disgusting.
Well, so
You're close to Minnesota. That's what they put on everything
gross. That's the least white guy thing I have.
they call them hot dishes up there, so don't use that as your argument.
Well, no, it's a sandwich.
It's a sandwich if you put it's bread and mayo.
I mean, you put
What
on
are you
bologna.
saying? What?
That's what they.
yeah, I'm talking about Minnesota. They love their mayonnaise up there.
No. I'm saying don't use what Minnesotans do to justify your argument because they call things hot dishes up there. That's my point.
Oh,
So I thought you were saying they just took bread and put mayonnaise on it, called it a sandwich.
do,
I was like,
bologna.
Yeah.
we don't need that
They do
state
it.
at all.
Yeah, they do.
We could just get rid of it.
We wouldn't even give that to Canada. That's just,
That's rude. How do we move this? Can we pick it up somehow? We must have the technology, helicopters or something.
Let's just get rid of that one entirely.
Can we make this in Highland? Dig a trench, maybe?
Let's build a wall around Minnesota.
Don't say that. A comedian got in a lot of trouble for that recently.
It's too late. I already said it. Okay,
Tom
it can't
Segura.
be taken back.
Tom Segura, go watch his special on Netflix. The whole state of Louisiana is pissed at him. Anyway, a little side
I'm
note.
okay with that.
But anyway, so you ran into many unexplored culinary territories. You wouldn't even eat the lamb sliders.
Did you finish them?
Which is lamb.
If
No.
it was literally just like the lamb and the bun, I would have been fine with it. But there was that aioli crap on there.
You could have smushed it onto the
I did.
plate.
I smushed a bunch of it off of the plate onto the plate, and Booney was throwing me sideways glances the whole time I was doing it, and I was like, "Don't care. This is terrible."
The most I did, I just
The lamb was pretty good, just as lamb though.
I picked off the peppers off our pizza.
I picked the onions off.
I'm not
pizza.
I'm not a pepper guy.
I don't like
I
onions.
ate all of it. If he handed me something, I ate it.
Well, I did that, except for a little bit of the peppers.
It was good though.
That like cracker dip stuff.
Which
that was
would?
cold beef.
Oh yeah,
I
Yeah,
never-
the beef tartare.
I never need to eat that again in my
I
life.
could eat that every day.
That was
sorry- I'm
delicious.
sorry,
It's
Booney.
so good.
That was delicious.
That was the low light of the whole experience.
Oh, it was so
What?
good.
That was
That
a
was
great way to
not-
start the meal.
That was not.
I wish
my thing.
that was an off menu item. I wish we could
Well,
go back
it
and
was
look that
off
up.
menu for brunch.
I wish we
Oh,
could.
yeah.
Was.
We should look that up because that was delicious. There was many
I think
things
that's
in
an
there.
on-menu item if you were there for a regular or for a different meal.
Yeah,
That's a great reason to go for dinner.
Which
we should totally
is
go for dinner.
Yeah, that's what I'm
another
saying.
thing I didn't realize. Like
Restaurants have different menus at different
Yeah, it
times.
seems
McDonald's
really-
did that for a long time.
really,
Yeah.
really different. Well, yeah,
Everybody
okay.
does
So they have
that.
a breakfast menu. I get that, but breakfast should be all day. I'm just saying. But
Dinner should be a thing.
oh, it's so good. Breakfast is my favorite thing. Like that. Next time just give me some steak.
You know what
steak and
rubes is.
potatoes,
He said he
or-
wanted to
Oh,
go
I
to
know
rubes.
exactly
Okay.
what rubes is,
So-
and that's a little rich for my blood, but
It's a little expensive for
it's
what it
very
is.
expensive.
I feel personally insulted having to pay more to cook my own meat.
If I was gonna eat a steak with Booney, I would rather like find a grill at somebody's backyard and buy some steaks at Fairway and have ourselves a grill out. That sounds
I'm
like a
down.
much more entertaining time to me
guys
than
wanna have a-
spending
have a grill
rubes
out.
money on a steak that's equally as good and I still had to make myself.
We could have a 10-10 grill out.
we could.
I never had a housewarming party. You guys should come
Oh
over.
shit, son!
I know we could have a 10-10.
You have a big grill?
All right, well,
Yeah.
when it warms up,
Sweet.
we'll do that.
Okay,
Booney's invited
definitely.
for sure.
He can bring the steaks.
You know what the highlight of that whole deal for me was finding out his daily.
Oh yeah, he's got a Jag XJ12 from what did he say? What year did he say it was? Like a 90 or 2000, 2001?
Mid-90s?
I don't know. It was
I don't know. It was a Ford Jag,
yeah, 2001 ish. Let's say.
but it was
Jaguar.
a long wheelbase.
XJ12 long wheelbase. It was sick.
So good. So cool.
Robbie's got it pulled up on the.
It was rad.
It's very
Super rad.
It's very
What color was this? It was like a
Tannish color
Yeah,
gold.
not-
Yeah, but
not
that long
red.
wheelbase. Look how long that rear door is. Damn.
It's presidential.
So much access to the rear
for the children.
for the children.
For the children.
And he said the best part is they love the fold down
There's
tables.
trays and stuff.
Tray tables. He said they love it. It's great. He's like, that's a perfect.
Do you have no idea how nice that would be for little kids, though?
Oh yeah.
To have that little tray there to put stuff on? That'd be great.
He said it works
Smart.
great. He had the baby seat back there and everything.
I'll
Or
bet
the
it's
toddler seat. I don't know
I'll
what
bet
it is.
it's super awesome to drive.
That's comfy.
So smooth.
Smooth. Yep.
Yeah.
So
It's
smooth.
probably not. You're probably not passing a whole lot of gas stations
No,
with that V12.
but it's
life,
pretty sick.
But you got to do what you got to do.
But you get to tell people you have a V12 Jag,
Right. A
which
V12 Jag.
says something.
Which now thanks to the Grand Tour it probably ticked up in value.
Yeah, exactly.
a
It's probably
couple
worth a whole
weeks
bunch
ago.
of money now. He's talking about, I got a great deal on this. You can probably sell it now.
He said he was going to drive into the ground though.
As he should. I don't see why he
loves it.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
He said it's been a good car. Knock on wood.
I really wish that made me even more upset about the fact that I didn't buy that long wheelbase V8 Jag I did in the very
Yeah, boy.
first Craigslist challenge we ever
White on
did.
white on
like,
white.
A year and a half ago,
Yeah,
or
pretty
whatever
sick.
it was.
That was pretty cool.
Made
It
me
was-
even more sad that I didn't buy it because it was such a cool car.
It was.
Depreciation's hard on those Jags.
Yes, it is. He said it was like modern day would have been like a $98,000 car or something.
When it
like
was,
that.
yeah, it was new.
Yeah, I think he said when it was new, whatever year that was, 2000, it was like 86 grand or something crazy like that.
I
That's
thought it was in the
nuts,
60s,
man.
But yeah, crazy money.
It's nowhere near that now.
No.
Depreciation.
Depreciation's hard on
Crazy.
Jags, real hard on Jags.
Crazy.
So anyway,
Luxury cars in general,
very true.
because Phaetons are ridiculously cheap these days too. So
Check out Booney's website, factorfabrication.com. He's got it back up and running again.
it's back.
He's got all
He
his
is
stuff up there.
unhacked.
Those are his legs right there in that shot.
Is that his legs?
I'm pretty sure it's his
Probably.
legs.
We're going with
I'd
it.
recognize
Prove
those legs
differently.
anywhere. Anyway,
That was weird.
yeah, it was weird, Robbie. Just deal
It's
with it.
supposed to be.
It's
Don't
supposed to be weird.
call it out. It makes it weirder.
He's a great fabricator. He's a great dude.
Is that a bash bar?
You can see.
No.
No, it's not.
It's a table.
It's a table.
It's an
Yeah.
octagon table.
It's a very small picture I'm looking at. I'm sorry.
He's got a lot of cool stuff on his website. Check it out. Like I said, great fabricator. He can do a lot of different things. We went to Eatery A to see all the different skills that he has, and they put a lot of work into that place. And yeah, Robbie's playing a video here where you can see some of the
Booney
unique
is sanding,
unique things that they can
lighting
do.
fireworks,
So,
lighting welding.
yep.
Uh,
It's I'm mildly jealous. Well, I'm not mildly jealous. I'm extremely jealous that he can weld and do woodworking.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. But
Master
cool stuff.
fabricator.
Yep. All right. Should we do our topic for this week?
I would love to.
Thanks for that positive attitude, Robbie.
I'm positive it's going to be a good episode.
Okay, great.
it's the kind of attitude we need.
I'm
Rob.
pumped that you have that attitude. But-
It's my jam.
okay, this week what we're doing
What?
is
I used that pun on this weekend, so I tried to bring it back.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. I'm following you now.
anyway, this week what we're doing is Petrolhead themed vacations.
The original idea, I don't know if you guys stuck with it or not, but the original idea was that each of the three of us are in very different points in our life, kind of. I have a family. Robbie is a couple. As far as we know,
Couple families.
no.
Good work, Robbie. Where's your other family
I
located?
said Rob-
No, the podcast.
Come on,
Hey,
man.
we said no. Talk about this.
I said
Damn it.
Robbie
nothing
is
personal
a
on the
couple.
podcast.
Is a couple, not has a couple.
A couple families.
A couple of families.
And
for
as
Robbie.
far as
It's
we
impressive.
know,
Robbie's broke as
Michael's
shit.
single.
So.
Yeah, I moved to Utah and I got a Mormon family. Thanks.
Robbie flies in every week.
It's impressive, Robbie. I don't know how you pull that off, but
They're all very successful. They pay for everything. It's
They
fine,
pay
it's
for the
fine.
whole
It's
thing.
Smart.
it's impressive. That's cool.
His 401k's off the charts.
It's unbelievable.
Amazing.
I'm a couple, apparently. Okay.
So that was kind of the idea. We have three
There's different-
very different kinds of vacations on
Different travel styles, basically.
roughly similar budgets.
I'll be honest. I didn't follow that.
No?
Well, I mean, 2 out of the 3 for sure would fit just fine for that.
You came up with
No.
3 vacations?
Yeah.
No, you were just supposed to come up with like you
got 3.
well, like a vacation that you and Jess would go on.
Oh, I got 2 for that.
That's fine. That'll work.
So that was
Yeah, it's
the
all good.
idea.
That'll work perfectly.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, who wants to get started then? I've got 2 that I'm going to go through.
I got 3.
And I just wanted to, mine is odd. I just wanted to point out, like, what, if you really want to dig into travel and do something fun, there's a lot of different options out there. So I wanted to show a vacation you could go on that would be an interesting experience that was actually cheaper and it's international than a domestic vacation. So I kind of want, that's the dichotomy
That's
with mine.
interesting.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. But mine,
International vacation that was cheaper.
yeah, because
I
of,
looked up and one of my options international that I didn't even post because it got really expensive really quickly.
so yeah, it's just all about how you want to travel and all that fun stuff, or what you want to do.
Yep. I had 3 types where one would be like spectating,
Okay,
one would be participating, and one would be more leisure.
that's fair.
Since I had the assumption that I was taking my family,
Yes.
I had to find a place that would appease them a little bit and still be petrol heady, and it kind of had to be a spectating deal.
Yeah, see, that's where it
Yeah,
starts
no, I
getting,
get it.
getting weird for sure if you wanted to fly much of anywhere.
Right. And my assumption on this is that I wouldn't do this for like probably at least 2-3 years. Logan would need to be more than 2 years old to do any sort of long term.
Oh, you're not one of the families that takes your 1-year-old to Disney World?
No, for the same reason
Okay.
I don't go out to eat anymore. I don't take my child on airplanes.
No, I get it.
I'm just not. I hated that guy when I didn't have a child, and so I refuse to be that guy now that I do.
I would have, and I've had to deal with that child on international flights. I would have an extreme. Yeah, I know. I would have an extreme panic attack for like an entire day about bringing an infant on a plane, and what
My kid's
potential.
not really an infant, but still, I wouldn't want to do
Just
it.
a young kid though. I just feel. I don't
So
know.
they'd be miserable and everyone around them.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Your kid's miserable too. That's why they're upset.
Yeah,
so.
it's an accomplishment if I can keep him seated for a meal,
Yeah, plain.
let alone a 12-hour flight across the ocean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people do weird things, but who wants to get started?
I can. If you
Since
want.
Robbie has the longest list,
Yeah,
we can
let's
let
go
him go
Three,
first.
I guess.
He's going to have the most
Robbie
data.
always outdoes.
He
like,
does.
Way over.
He's going to have data. He's going to have travel statistics. He's probably going
Did
to
you
have.
look up owner's manuals this week?
Not
too?
this week.
Did you
Oh,
look?
okay.
Do you have the crime statistics for where you're going?
Yeah,
and
but I didn't-
The
I didn't-
nearest hospital and police station. Do you have that information as well?
Yeah, and then
Emergency contacts.
the transfer or the currency exchange rate. I got that. and-
Jesus Christ!
Actually, I do have that.
Jesus Christ!
All right, we can.
Robert, and he has a spreadsheet just like I do.
Yep. So the first one would be my spectating one.
Okay.
This is my flight only includes one human,
Okay.
so you could double that for 2 humans. But you can get these VIP packages for the Isle of Man TT race, and they're between $2,500 and $5,800. So they're not cheap. There's cheaper ways of going about this.
So what do I get as a VIP that I don't get as a normal ticket, like a general admission or whatever that term may
Let's
be?
look at the packages.
Because, like, do I? So Isle of Man is it's a long race.
Yeah, it's like 4 days of racing.
Well, I mean, the race itself.
Yeah.
The distance they cover for the race is a long way. So is there like taxis that take me to different places, or
Yes.
what's a VIP get me?
So VIP package 1, which is the cheaper one, that is $2,500. Oh nope, here this one, $2,389. VIP package 2, you get 4 nights in the Rutland Hotel, breakfast,
That's with housing. That's
Yes.
not as
Interesting.
bad then.
round trip transfers for your airplane or to and from the airport.
Ooh.
5-day unlimited public transport, so you can go anywhere.
Damn.
VIP preview evening, where you get appearances in the guest VIP suite. You get to go to you get grandstands tickets.
Okay.
MotoGP Mad Sunday lunch. Main grandstand
Mad
ticket.
Sunday.
It's Mad Sunday,
It's
bro.
not just
Mad
any Sunday.
Shit's wild,
It's
son.
Mad Sunday.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
also get to tour the TT circuit by bus,
that would be kind of
and
interesting.
you get an official TT souvenir program plus moto lanyard
Ooh, Laner.
and a goodie bag.
Ooh, who doesn't love a good goodie bag?
All you gotta do is add flights.
That's when you put it that way. $2,500 isn't.
It's
It's not so bad.
it's not cheap, but
No.
you get a fair amount. And
Is
you
that
can- then
U.S. money dollars?
Yeah, I think these
Okay.
are in U.S. money dollars. And then you can spend $57.89 for the more expensive one. That's basically everything. So you get
Is it the
7-day
same place you get to stay at then?
Palace Hotel and Casino. So no, it's 9 days at the Palace Hotel and Casino.
Well, there you go.
So
That just sounds fancy.
yes. So that was my spectating one.
I like that. Did you get some flights for that?
Yeah, flights would be about $2,500 from Des
Okay.
Moines.
Really?
I think that's a lot of changes to get to there. To get to
It
Isle of Man.
Yeah,
Oh.
the best one I could do, which is right around $2,500, was 14 hours of flight, and I think it was 2 stops. Or you could do 48 hours
2
of.
stops to get to Isle of Man.
I think so, but I had a bunch of different options. I just
Can you
rounded it
can
out.
you even fly to that island, or do you have to boat from the nearest major
I
island?
think you can get there.
Because I don't think it's a very big place, is
they
it?
probably put you on a little jumper
Puddle
plane,
jumper,
Send you over,
yeah.
send you over there. Of course, they probably got something set up for this weekend. I mean, shit, how many people go in there for this?
Yeah, that
like
may
a
very
million.
well be.
Yeah, and this was for that weekend
So that was $2,500 just for your plane ticket.
round trip. Yeah,
That's pretty expensive.
yeah.
And maybe that's just what it costs to go to Isle of Man. I don't know. Because my ticket was way cheaper. I found a sale. We'll get into mine in a minute.
Yeah, that's fine.
But when I was going back and forth to the UK pretty regularly, you could get it down to $1,300 going to London.
Yeah.
If you were,
Is that round trip?
if you bought it at the right point, you could get it down to 13.
There was one on that weekend for 1,300, but it took 48 hours.
Shit. Damn, son.
It had 4 stops. And
Holy
so you went from Des
And
Moines.
10-hour layovers or what?
I didn't look into it. I was like, 40. Nope.
Sorry.
Is that one of those deals where like I could drive from here to New York and get on the plane in half the time it would take for me to fly from here to New York?
Yeah, it's that type of setup. It would have been awful.
Yeah.
So $5,000, you could do 9 days at the Isle of Man.
No, this would have
TT?
been 5 days.
5 days.
6 days. 5 nights.
Okay, so 5 overnights, Isle of Man TT for $5,000.
That's not that bad
Yeah.
for 2 people.
No, you'd have to double
Just
it
one
for-
person.
Oh,
You have to double
yeah,
it.
right.
Yeah, double it
Okay.
for 2 people. So $5,000 a person.
It's like 25 for the ticket and
Yeah.
okay. Yep.
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay.
So-
What else, Robbie?
This would be the participation one.
Okay.
Let's do the pricing first. It's the Bondurant Racing School Forza Motorsport Grand Prix Road Racing Package.
I almost chose this, but I seriously remembered that you wanted to do this, so I
Yep.
chose
And
otherwise.
I also went with like the top level, most expensive one because I'm on vacation, damn it, and I'm going to go with
Right.
Robbie's here to burn money.
This is a fantasy.
Robbie doesn't spend money. Robbie's spending some money this weekend.
I'm burning it all. I'm going home with nothing. But the package itself is a 4-day. You get, I think it's the Hellcat, and then you also get the open wheel.
That's too bad.
Yeah, so it's
Why do they give you a Hellcat?
it's a challenge.
Because Dodge pays for it.
But couldn't
no,
you
no,
get,
no,
like,
no,
Dodge
sorry.
gave them the Bondurant?
It's the SRT Challenger, not the Hellcat. Anyways, the Viper's not an option anymore.
I know.
I suppose.
There used to be CTSVs.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Cadillac used to sponsor
Bondurant.
Bondurant.
Well, I mean,
That would have been sweet.
I found a webpage that had like 13 different driving schools, and they all had different things that were cool about it. I just went with Bondurant because Bondurant's cool.
It's a known.
Yeah. But you could do 2 days with the Dodge Challenger, and then you do 2 days with the open wheel. I think it's Mazda's. So then it's a 4-day event. Costs $5,500. A flight from Des Moines to Phoenix is $550. Rental cars, for 5 days, be like $500. And then the hotel will be about $600. So the grand total of $7,150. And then if you want to have 2 people do it, add another $5,500 on that.
Well, if you and Jess went, I don't know that she would probably participate in the Bondurant shenanigans.
She might.
Maybe she should. Maybe
I
she
think
would
she
enjoy herself.
absolutely should.
I think we should spend that kind of money on a 350Z and then have her come fully support this racing habit of mine.
I have tried many, many times to get Katie in the driver's seat of my car in autocross. I think that she would enjoy it if she would just do it. And I would love to see more females out there participating.
Heck
I
yeah.
think they would enjoy it more. I think the problem is stigma.
Yeah.
Stigma? Yeah,
I
probably.
almost am afraid how much she might actually enjoy it.
Like
Yeah.
you'll never get to drive your car
It might
again.
be a problem. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, that looks good. So,
So, that'd be
what was
fun.
the grand total on that one? Just again,
$7,150 for a single person.
So again, here staying in the States, it's $2,000 more than the Isle of Man TT,
Yep.
but it's a different experience.
yeah, so
obviously.
$5,500 for the 4-day. And if
Gotcha.
you're already there, you might as well do 4 days.
Yeah, for the price difference, 3 days is 48.
Yeah.
So it's not a huge difference. Okay.
so do you come out of that with a competition license or anything like
Not
that?
that class or that program.
Because I know that
There's other programs
those
you
are
could
options.
do.
Like with the old Skip Barber, it's something else now. I can't even remember what the name is. But
The one in Brainerd too. I think it's a 3 or 4 day course. You can walk out with a competition license. This isn't that one, but you could definitely do that.
okay.
I mean, I wonder if this is the same one. No. Anyways, but yeah, there's a bunch of different racing schools. I mean, this is just I think this is the most expensive one. So I mean, there's
Right.
It
much,
probably is.
much cheaper options out there.
And where is this in Arizona?
This one's in
He's got his own little complex.
yeah,
Oh.
it's by Phoenix. What's it
Okay.
called?
So you fly into Phoenix then?
Chandler, Arizona.
Chandler. Okay.
Yeah, so if you want the most expensive racing school, Bondurant's right there.
Interesting, Bob Bondurant. Okay.
And then this is my more leisure one. This is I found a cool site while doing this, and it's called, let's scroll all the way up, JapanCarCulture.com.
Oh boy.
You can, this website, you just join it, and you don't buy anything off of it. You just like a membership, and it's somebody has put together these itineraries, so you could go there on certain weekends or weeks or whatever, and then you can hit a bunch of different Japanese car culture things, and then it's also still like a leisure thing because obviously they're spaced out.
Right.
But then they'll also, as part of the website, they will have like beginner's guides, so like learning Japanese, the culture differences, what to expect, where to find things, shops that'll let you tour them, shit like that. So I went through this itinerary and kind of broke it out a little bit because they don't have any pricing, so I didn't pay to be on it. But roughly, for this 12 nights in Japan, if I follow the itinerary that they had, fly to Tokyo, $1,300 per ticket. You can rent a R34 GTR for,
Yes.
I don't know what the Japanese currency is.
Yen.
Yen.
You can rent a Skyline GTR R33 for 9,000 yen.
What is that, like $3?
$82 a day.
Jesus. That's
So you could get an
wow.
an R34 GTR Skyline for 17,000. So it's like not quite $200 a day, $150 a day.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So for 12 days, you rent that. I got that on here. So my GTR rental is about $1,000 for 12 days.
Okay.
That's probably not even that wildly out of range for a normal car here in the States.
No,
Would you say 80 some dollars a day?
it was $82.
Nah, that's totally like just a regular
So
old car, not even a Tahoe or anything.
yep.
Right. Like a Kia Spectra.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yep. And then the one I picked was when they do the R's meet. It's like the GTRs and stuff.
Okay.
At the Fuji Raceway.
Oh, okay.
So you'd be there, and that's free. So you just go to the event. You can watch everything. There's a bunch of vendors. So during the 12 days, you would basically tour Japan in your GTR,
Okay.
and then also they have the itinerary set up, so you could go and tour these shops like Top Secret and a couple other ones that they listed. So like I'm sure you could find mines, the Toyota facilities available to be toured, so stuff like that. So you could, if you follow the
They
itinerary
have,
to a
a
T.
lot of those manufacturers have like heritage museums and stuff like
Yep.
that.
So that would all
So-
be available. So yeah, if you just go through it, and they break it down day by day of things you could do. So like 2 days of sightseeing in Tokyo, road trip to Mount Fuji. Then you got, this would be last year, September 10 was the R's meeting at the Fuji Speedway, and then sightseeing around Fuji on the 11th. Then you do a fun drive up like the back hills by Fuji, like where everyone drifts and stuff, and then more sightseeing, and then they do the what's it called? The Idler's track day. So you could meet.
That's like
I can't think what that's called.
RWB Porsche guys.
Yes, that's exactly what that is.
That'd be pretty cool.
So then-
just to see those.
Put all that together. Shop tours are free, plus my sushi budget of about $1,500.
Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
I got to make sure I have enough budget.
You're spending over $100 a day on sushi.
When in Japan,
You know, this is how Jeremy Piven got mercury poisoning, right?
when in Japan, you have to eat all the sushi.
Jeez.
You
Rob.
have to eat a blowfish then, right?
Yeah, that's part of the $1,500 budget.
Wow.
That's probably half of it.
Can you even spend that much money in Japan
I
on
wanted
food?
I wanted to make sure I had enough money for sushi.
For how many people?
You realize this is a joke. It's like over the top.
I get that, but that's crazy, Robbie.
Just wanted to put it out there. I wasn't being 100% serious
Okay,
on my
all right.
sushi budget.
Okay, that's fine.
But even with my $1,500 sushi budget, it's only less than a $5,000 trip.
for 12 nights in Japan. 12.
Granted, I lowballed the shit out of it. 'cause
Yeah,
I
you're
I
doing this
didn't-
on the cheap.
and I didn't take into account all the other expenses that it would incur, like gas of the car.
Oh, sure.
Insurance on the car. Hotels probably higher than $1,200, stuff like that. But
Sure. Okay. Fair enough.
souvenirs.
Interesting though. It's name that website again if you didn't say it before.
JapanCarCulture.com.
Because people should check that out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It does sound really cool.
It's cool that she put all that. Like, it's a girl that runs it, and I think she's over there, and that's what she does. She has this website. She's like a journalist, I think.
She seems like a real journalist, so she's okay with
Yeah.
us.
So you just become with it. Oh, don't do that. So yeah, you just join the website, and you can like read through these guides that teach you how to behave when you're in Japan.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna check that out later because that's legit.
Because I found it, I'm like, oh, this would be great. Just what's the price on this? And then realize, oh wait, no, this is literally just a guide for you to take
still,
it. And
that's half
take
the
it. And run,
battle.
yeah, take it. And
Oh,
run
that's
with.
yeah, definitely. Because I'm like, man, going to Japan would be cool. Because I see pictures of like Travis, for instance, going to Japan.
Right.
And you're like, I don't even know where to start with this.
Right.
Like, I could go to Japan, but then what do I do when I get
Or like
there?
you watch Mighty Car Mods, and
Yeah.
they're there like every other Monday.
Yep.
It's just like I don't even
What
know.
do I do
it looks
now?
awesome, but
Yeah.
Yep.
Where do I go?
Well, yeah, and then I'm sure there's little things you wouldn't think of, but like the culture differences.
that's a big thing. I
There's
think.
at least 3 articles that she's written that are just how to behave and not be a
Mind your
typical
P's and Q's.
how to not be a dumb American in Japan.
Perfect. So do you think if you did this, do you think you'd like run into people like, oh yeah, I'm here from Japan car culture too?
There's like forums that you can be on. It sounds like you can do you can meet, like if you go on the forums, you can meet up with people that are either living there or are doing it at the same time.
See, that would be kind of cool.
So
too.
she's trying to build a community. I'm not sure how big it is. I think their Facebook actually had a decent number of people on it, like or their Instagram or something. But
I'm looking into that for sure. That's
I
pretty cool.
thought it was really cool.
I like it. I definitely want to go to Japan.
Which is funny because out of the other 2 ones, which are my other 2 picks, sound like an awesome trip. This actually, I was most excited about planning this out. Like,
Yeah,
I'd really do this.
I would choose this. As much as I want to do TT, I would probably choose that instead because I think that you'd be like, this is the end all. Like, this is the craziest point in my life.
I think that'd be more memorable because
Yeah.
you see so much more.
Yeah, and
You're not confined to one place.
no, I could also package this as a honeymoon.
Okay, you could do that.
Yes.
She's not gonna have any of it, but
You could like
in
maybe throw 1 or 2 things in
In
there.
theory, I
you
could
know?
throw this together and be like, "How do you feel about going to Japan for 12 days?"
Tell
Huh?
you, oh, we're going to go on a mountain drive
No.
and we're going to go see museums. And girls love that kind of stuff, right? You don't have to tell her that
Cherry
it's,
blossoms. Just say cherry blossoms.
cherry blossoms.
Cherry blossoms.
You don't have to tell her
Cherry
that it's the Toyota Racing Heritage Museum.
Actually, I told her that there was I think it's like 10 days in Thailand or something on Groupon for like $800. It's crazy cheap.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah, something about that doesn't seem right, Robbie.
I'm like, oh, we should
I've
go.
heard some things about Thailand. I'm not sure how I feel
That's just
about
Bangkok. You stay away from
that. Oh,
Bangkok.
okay.
Anyways, well, that's my 3. I think Japan is the way
Japan's
to
pretty sick.
go. Who wants
You want to go next, Adam?
I don't care. Whatever.
Go ahead.
Robbie's
Go ahead,
Robbie is
Adam.
leading the show right now, frankly. so.
Adam, you go.
All right. So I just did one, which is the family thing. This is a trip I would legitimately really, really like to do and may end up actually doing. So what it is a trip to the 24 Hours of Daytona, which, conveniently enough, is almost literally happening right now if you're listening to this as the show comes out.
Yep.
So I started with airplane tickets. I just Expedia'd this because
Yeah, just ballpark it.
yeah, so I'm sure if I spent some time, I could probably find cheaper ones. But I bundled the car rental, the hotel, and the plane ticket all together on Expedia, and it was between $500 and $600 per person.
Okay.
Well, it was just here. It said 563, and then now it refreshed. So I'm
they have a
sorry
whole,
about
they
that.
have a whole list of them.
Oh, there it is. Right there.
Yeah, the $500 to $600. That was the one I kind of chose because I thought that one looked like a decent hotel, but also wasn't mind-bogglingly expensive because
Yes.
you can get very expensive hotels in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Yep.
So did you
So-
search this for this weekend, or did you search it for like
The
2019?
flight plan is for 2019.
Okay, I was wondering maybe if your hotel would be
No,
cheaper.
the flight plan is for 2019.
Okay.
So that was what I did on itinerary based on. But the ticket pricing, I don't know. That might change from year to year for
Sure.
Daytona, but I just went off of this year's ticket pricing for Daytona for the race itself.
How much is the ticket?
So there's a packages there. 12 and under are free. So
Oh.
cha-ching. And the VIP tickets, which get you pit passes and stuff like that, start at like $105 a person,
No kidding.
which I thought was
Wow,
fairly
that seems-
is that
reasonable.
per day or just the whole weekend?
No, that was like a 4-day package. You could go and watch testing.
Whoa.
You could go and watch qualifying. You could go and watch the race. 4 days.
Yeah, 4-day wristbands.
My flight to and from were 6 days apart. So I have 4 days of track things I can do and 2 days to do the touristy family Daytona Beach stuff. So just out of curiosity, because I've heard like people talk about, oh, it gets cold in Daytona, right? At night,
What?
like at night, you're out there at like 2:00 in the morning. It's kind of chilly.
Probably
right now,
50.
it's 52 degrees in Daytona Beach. Florida.
How do they survive down
Yeah, I
there?
don't know. They must just be icicles, frankly.
Man.
So today was a high of 67 with a low of 47. So I think I'd be all right.
You'll be all right, probably.
However, that being said, I don't think you're going to spend a whole lot of time in the water.
No, this is not.
It's not a good time of
swimming
year
season.
for swimming season.
That would definitely be cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it'd still be kind of fun to run around on the beach, and I'm sure there's plenty of touristy things to do in Daytona. I don't know what exactly. I frankly didn't even look into
I feel
it
like
that
you're
closely.
pimping this up a little bit, and you want absolutely nothing to do with the beach, which we have evidence to
I
suggest that
despise
you do
beach
not.
things
Yes.
because I hate water with a like livid passion.
That's the best
I
part.
hate water so much.
love the water.
Water's terrible.
Water's great, but it's also terrible.
Water's good for two things: bathing, drinking.
Not swimming,
Not washing shirts, apparently.
leisuring,
Bathing. Remember?
Yeah.
just,
Yep,
just
exactly.
being around it.
No.
It's relaxing.
What's odd is that I'm absolutely fascinated by the things that live in it,
Yeah, like
but I absolutely hate it at the same
You
time.
wouldn't do scuba or snorkeling in it. That's what you're saying.
Actually, I probably would do that.
You think you would?
Yeah, I would really like to do that.
Well, I
Like,
couldn't do that now. but-
8-year-old me was going to be an oceanographer, despite the fact that I don't like swimming. So there was an issue there, but 8-year-old me didn't care.
you'll figure out
Right.
the details.
Right.
Yeah,
later.
That was future Adam.
That's adult Adam's problem.
Right,
Adults
exactly.
know everything, so it'll be
So
fine.
that was like my life's goal was to be an oceanographer for whatever reason.
We should
landlocked
we should
Iowa.
we should have an Adams oceanography weekend. We take you to the beach.
Why do you think he likes going to the zoo so much?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but we should take you
Why
down
do
to
I
like
go to the zoo?
We could do like a reef dive thing. We could get you an underwater camera. Man, it'd be
I would
sweet.
do that. I would love to.
My least favorite part about the scuba diving thing or the
Have you
snorkeling
done it?
thing, yeah.
Oh.
But you're out there for like a couple hours, and by the time I got done with the whole bobbing in the ocean thing, I was ready to puke.
I don't want to snorkel.
No, I want to scuba.
wanna
I only
scuba.
snorkel.
There-
There'd
don't wanna
be
snorkel.
there would be like a 50% chance I would die if I went snorkeling.
Yeah.
Because I'm for sure I would suck water down that tube.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not that. Well, you're more buoyant in saltwater.
That's okay. Fair enough. That is true.
I've
And you
never
have-
been
and
in
you have
salt-
life jackets
I've never
and
been
stuff.
that deep in saltwater. I've been up to like my knees in the ocean once or twice. Man.
All right, 10/10 goes to Florida.
Gotta go see Kevin anyway.
Yeah.
Is he anywhere near the ocean?
Can
Can Kevin
Really-
meet us in Miami?
In
could.
Iowa mileage terms, is anywhere
Yeah.
in Florida not near the ocean?
He's super close to the ocean, Robbie. He's
Just hop in a car and let's
because
go.
to us, like when you live in Iowa, getting in a car and driving, 250 miles to something is not a big deal. But to some people, that's a road trip. But to
Yeah.
me, that's like a slow Sunday.
I literally just did that to go get some wheels.
Right.
And
No,
talk
but
to
like
Bert.
that's
Like,
a,
hey Bert, what's up?
that's a thing for some people.
Yeah, it is.
So like
Nothing to us.
in our terms, because we're so spread out here.
Yeah.
So in our terms, is anywhere in Florida not close to the ocean?
Everywhere in Florida is close to the ocean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, you're in Florida? How's the ocean?
Yeah, exactly.
What? No, I can't even see the water. You kidding me? Why are you even living there?
Stand up, Jesus.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Get on top of your house. It's got to be right there, right?
Can't be that far away. You should be able to see it from both directions. Why do you even live on a peninsula? It's
I
ridiculous.
thought the Earth was flat. I'm confused.
You should be able to see the water.
But Daytona's just like a bucket list race for me.
I absolutely
Because
get it.
I want to
get
go to
it.
I want to go to a big 24-hour race, and Le Mans is just not realistic. It's not reasonable.
Right. No,
So.
Daytona's very reasonable, though.
It'd be interesting to know what it would cost to do Le Mans, though. Like,
I almost looked it up. I thought about looking it up. I looked up World Time Attack because that's my other like bucket list got to do race.
Yeah.
And tickets were $2,000 or flight tickets and hotel was $2,000 a person,
so
which got really bad when you're taking 3 people.
if I'm understanding that correctly, if you wanted to do that by yourself, would that be like $700?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
By
I
the
mean,
way,
you gotta
I got the lemon.
Oh yeah. You didn't have anything in there for food.
I didn't have a budget for food, but
Okay.
let's be realistic. It's only 4 days, and you're at the track for a lot of it. How much can it possibly be?
It won't be that much. But if you go to
Especially if you're being mindful of it.
right, motorsporttravel.com is where I got my package for the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
They also have packages for like Formula One, MotoGP, IndyCar, Goodwood,
Dude, start
24
right there.
hours
That's
of Le Mans.
right there.
Here's the 24-hour Le Mans. You could do the packages for $1,200 per person, all the way up to.
And that's room and board again.
Yeah, this is the same, basically the same packages as the one I had earlier. So like it's
doesn't
about
seem
$2,000,
that out-
$2,000 a person.
Dang,
Doesn't seem
that's
that
cheap.
outrageous to me.
That's cheap.
Yeah, 4 nights around the 24-hour Le Mans.
Huh. Just your flights then.
Yeah, basically. Flights and food would be the only thing you need to take care of after we bought this.
Cool.
So motorsporttravel.com.
Check that out. Was that it, Adam, for your travel?
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, beyond like looking into what this will do for you, but it is what it is. Everybody knows what you do at a racetrack.
Yeah, you should.
So,
You should know.
I want to do that one. That would be
That's a
really
good
cool
one.
to me.
It's a
And
good-
I think that's something because going to Florida, I think that's something I could actually get by the significant other.
Well, you picked the worst state to try to sell somebody on. Florida.
Nah, Katie would probably be like, "Oh, Florida sounds fun.
That
The
sounds
beach. Let's
nice.
go to the beach. It's
Yeah.
cold here. You know, I don't need to tell her that it's only 60 degrees and you're not going to get in the water.
That's fine. That's fine.
She could
Details.
put her feet
She'll
in the
figure it
sand.
out.
It'll
She'll figure out when she gets there. It'll be
Yeah,
fine.
it's not that
You'll be able to
big.
smooth
Just
it
sit,
over.
yeah, sit in the sand next to the water.
It's the same.
Just as
It's
good.
just as good.
Yeah.
Let's do mine real quick. I
Yeah.
got two. My first one,
Oh, hold on.
I
Robbie's
peeked at
pulling
yours
the
a little
spreadsheet.
bit before I came here.
mine.
You got your
I
spreadsheet.
could not believe the price difference.
Yeah, so this is crazy. So Goodwood Festival of Speed. I tried to do this as cheaply as possible, and I have, as I've mentioned, traveled in the UK quite a bit. So I kind of know how to get around there. So basically what you'd be looking at to do Goodwood, it's in July. So I priced it like I was doing it for this year. But basically, I'm trying to pull up that spreadsheet too here. Sorry about that.
I didn't want to price my flight out for this year because then I would have been buying tickets for 3 days from now.
Yeah, and
no
that
good.
didn't make good sense.
That would have skewed it really radically. So that's why I went for 2019.
No, it makes perfect
So for the
sense.
event, I didn't use Robbie's website, which maybe they'd have a better deal, maybe they wouldn't. But to do the event for 4 days, Goodwood Festival of Speed is an expensive event, and I chose. It's not a VIP package, but it was like one tier up in the packaging. So you're there for 4 days. You get grandstand access, which on some of those you don't. Which I think you want grandstand access because then you can see the track or see the road or whatever you want to
The
call it.
hill climb.
The hill climb. So I think that's important. This one would be important. Shelter for when it rains.
It doesn't rain in England. It'll
It's
be
never.
fine.
It actually has never rained in England at all, so it's actually a desert. But so you'd want that, and then it comes with an earpiece so you can hear the announcer, which would be good for the hill climb. Totally
I
makes
think
sense.
they have an app and stuff that you can use to follow along with what's going on and stuff like that too. So
So that would be an option as well. But for that, after the conversion, would be $413 to do 4 days.
okay,
So, and then to do the flight and hotel I have listed there, I think this was a special deal. I probably couldn't even find this again if I wanted to. But at the time when I looked it up, I was trying to figure out a way to fly in there and get as close to Goodwood as possible. So to do that, you fly into Gatwick. So I think the layover was in. I think you fly from JFK directly to Gatwick, which is probably why it's cheaper because you're not flying through Heathrow. And to do that, plus to stay at a place called the Nag's Head.
which is so English. I can't
Yeah,
even
it's
get
super English.
They serve bangers and mash and fish and chips and nothing else.
All the beer is room temperature,
Right.
and flat.
in pints.
And so that basically that package to do that was $1,900. So that would be the flight and the hotel.
That's
But this is hotel. I mean, this is like a really English.
is that a hostel?
No.
Totally different.
It's like a. I don't even know what they call it exactly in the UK, but it's just like a big house.
Do you get your own room? You think?
Yeah, you get your own room. I think it's actually a public house. I think that's actually what it is. But you get your own room. You know, there's a pub, a bar underneath and all that stuff. So it's a very English thing to do.
That's part of the experience. I think
I think it'd be fun.
I think it'd be fun.
I'd like to. I think that would be if they were like you could stay anywhere over here. I'd probably like I'll do this. This would be cool.
22-year-old me would probably enjoy it a lot more than 30-year-old me would, but it's fine.
Yeah. And then I threw in about $400 for local transport because Gatwick is 47 miles from Chichester, which is where the Nag's Head is. And Goodwood is an estate, so it's kind of like its own thing there. So you don't stay in Goodwood. You got to stay somewhere else. And Chichester was the biggest place nearby, so that's where I found the Nag's Head. And then I threw in about...
Such a ridiculous
It's a great name for
I
a
love
hotel.
it so much.
Yeah.
And then I threw in about $280 for food, just based on what I used to spend when I was out there. So that was.
What about all the sushi?
I don't think you go to...
I don't think you go to Chichester for sushi or
If you're
the
going to eat
Nag's Head.
fish in England, it's not going to
It's going to be
raw
battered, fried,
and delicious.
and with fries.
chips.
Oh, definitely chips. No
as
fries.
they say. No,
just-
they are fries, Robbie.
I know, but they're calling them chips.
So you eat that straight for 4 days. But so anyway, that's a 4. I mean, realistically, you're probably gone 6 days doing all that travel and all that nonsense. But it's $3,000.
Yeah.
So that'd be a lot of fun. It's not that expensive, and it'd be a really crazy experience. I think that'd be really
It'd be a lot of
enjoyable.
fun.
Yeah,
So you chose the Festival of Speed over the Revival.
I did.
Did you look at that and make that conscious decision, or
I think if I could do it twice, I would do the Festival of Speed and then I would do the Revival. I think I just need to get the Festival of Speed out of my system, and then I may enjoy the Revival more. But
I think we've debated this before, like which one would I rather go to? And I really have a hard time making that decision.
this to me is like one tier above the Revival in my mind for some reason. So I got to knock this one out first, and then I'd go do the other one.
I think the Revival would be more fun, but the Festival of Speed I want to see more. Because
Yeah.
I love hill climb racing in general, despite the fact that that's not really that good of a hill climb circuit. And they get wilder cars, which I'm more interested in at the Festival of Speed.
Yes.
So yeah, it'd probably both cost about $3,000 all in if
Right.
you were savvy. So anyway, that's my first one. My second one, instead of picking Bondurant, which I seriously considered and then figured that Robbie would choose it, and I was correct, so that was good. I picked drifting classes, so when I decided to choose this, it's still a little bit underground enough that there's not really much in the way of choices. And I didn't want to go to Dirtfish because they may do tarmac drifting, but I just didn't. That's not really what they're known for, so I didn't want to go there.
Would be a fun place to go to.
It would be a great
It looks like a really good time.
place to go. It's just I was like, no, I want to do tarmac drifting. That's what I'm looking for, and so I'm going to find a place that just does that. So Drift 101 I've heard of before, so I found that it's in Van Nuys, California.
They do that at Button Willow, right?
Is
Is that the track?
I
it's
think so.
hosted at?
I think so. Does it say on there? It may just be a lot of it's just skid pad. So
I
I
think
don't.
there's a skid pad at Bud Willow.
Okay, so that might be where it is. But to do a one-day drift event with a car rental, which you would have to do, it's probably advisable that you do anyway. Rent there, $240. It's $1,000 a day.
Ooh.
So, and that's for the 101 class. So they're going to make you do, like, I think if you go watch, if you go on YouTube, I think it was not DWA, Everyday Driver did this.
I think that's yeah.
I think they did this exact thing, and it's really, which you have to start. I mean, it's called Drift 101, so you start at the bottom, and it's like really basic. So for someone with some experience that day, at the end of the day, you're probably going to be getting stuff out of it, but you may be burning the first 4 hours of that day, not just going over the basics again.
That's a hard pill to swallow at $1,000 a day.
At $1,000 a day, it's kind of steep. And then I assume, it was a little hard to tell from the website, but I think 102 is a separate package to 101. So if you wanted to continue, you don't just choose the 2-day package. I think you need to do Drift 101, then choose Drift 202, so it becomes a 3-day thing.
No.
Are you sure?
Drift 102 is a second-day class offered to students.
Yeah, see, I read that, and that's not how
No.
I interpreted it, because it calls it a 2-day package.
You're right. That is weird.
It's worded really weird, so I don't know. You'd want to definitely call them and ask them if you were going to travel there, if you do 101 and then do 102, because they made it sound like 102 is 2 days of more advanced driving. It's kind of confusing. Anyway, Drift 102 is $1,800. So between those two, you'd be looking at $2,800 to do 101 and 102, assuming they're separate classes. Then you'd have flight and hotel, which I found through Frontier. You'd have to go through Denver and land in LAX and then go to Van Nuys. You'd be looking at just over $1,000 to do that, and then staying at a place called the Airtel Plaza Hotel, which looked like an okay hotel, nothing crazy. But so you'd be looking at a little over $1,000 there, plus then probably $200 to Uber around. So you're looking at over $4,000 to do that.
And
It's kinda
what
pricey.
was your Goodwood
It was $29.67
So nearly double.
with a lot of guesstimates with
Well,
with $400 for transport and
Right.
$280 for food, and technically a day longer. So
And international.
and international.
Jesus.
So it's a little hard to swallow that over $4,000 to do the Drift 101 classes.
The other thing is, like, I mean, I guess we're kind of in a mildly special circumstance, but I feel like, what's it cost to do an O Drift day?
$100.
Yeah.
I feel like I could do 10 O Drift days with the people we know and get at least as much, if not well more, out of it.
Yeah.
That's 2 years worth of O Drift collective events.
Exactly. And I think maybe that's why
But
this hasn't caught on.
I'll bet you that consumable cost per participant is higher there than it is at Bondurant.
Yeah, most likely. So
Yeah.
there will be wrecks and there will
Right.
be tires.
Especially 102,
Burn.
and I don't know exactly what they do in 102 because I read that, but I don't remember what all they said
And
that you do.
I'll bet you they blow up more motors. You know, they have a
Hit
lot
more
more
walls.
They have a lot more destruction than they would at Bob Bondurant track.
For sure.
And they've got an S13 and an S14. They're just KAs, and then they've got a 350, but you have to pay for an upgrade to use the 350. And then they have a BMW like a 328i, I think, also.
A newer one.
No,
328, no, that-
like a
That would have been a 36.
E36, I think is what it is. Either an E36 or an E43. So, yeah, there's the cars there. Robbie's got them pulled up on YouTube.
246 Coupe, hatchback, S14, 328i, and a 350Z.
Yep. So,
Well, I guess you do kind of get one-on-one training.
you're getting one-on-one training. You're getting a whole day. I mean, I get it. It's probably equivalent cost to, the Bondurant classes, but that's also Bondurant. It's a different level of prestige associated with that, and you're working a way different level of cars too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Brand new Dodges.
Yeah, and that's and that you could I did the Bob whatever class, but I did Drift 101. What's
Say
that?
what now?
Yeah.
With who?
So maybe at some point this will catch on more and become more mainstream. And I don't want to discount anything that Drift 101 is doing. I'm sure that they are excellent at what they do. It's just it's expensive. You want to take drift classes, it's not cheap. And I didn't look up Dirtfish. Maybe I could do that later, but I wonder what their packages would cost because, like you said, that'd be pretty fun too.
Absolutely.
So anyway, those are my vacations. I think that's it.
I think we all won. They all sound great.
Let's be real here. We're media. We wouldn't have to buy any of this shit.
Right, exactly. Let's make a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Goodwood will accept my media credentials. I'm sorry, who are you?
Beat it, nerd.
Yeah, get out of here. You can join the general admission. Thanks.
I might be able to get into Daytona,
You might be able to. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
but Goodwood, no. For
Yeah,
sure.
they would tell you to hit the bricks. They might even tell you just not to show up. Like, yeah, why don't you just not buy a ticket either?
And I don't think Drift 101 would cut you much of a discount, if
Not
any
really.
at all. And Bob Bondurant would be like, why the fuck
What?
do I
No.
care?
Yeah. Bob Bondurant. Damn it. Get out of here, nerds. So anyway, you guys want to do some news?
Yeah.
Let's do some news. I am running the news. I am not as snappy at transitions as Robbie used to be.
Robbie was
So everything
really
is
good at that
different.
stuff.
Robbie did it for like 85 episodes, probably 90
Probably more
episodes,
than that.
95
I
episodes.
think we only had 2 or 3 in the very beginning that didn't have news.
And then Robbie started taking it over. And
I think the very first episode we did, we just had articles of our own, and we read them. But that was after that we got more organized.
Yeah.
True. So sorry, bear with me while I get better at the transitions like Robbie. So Land Rover introduces a Defender with 400 horsepower and a V8.
So this is an original Defender, isn't it?
Well, I mean,
That
original in air quotes. This is the one.
Nothing's changed on it.
You could buy this one a couple years ago.
right, but
3 or 4 years ago.
they stopped making it for a while.
Yeah.
And now they're making this as a limited run.
Yes.
Yeah, they're only selling like 300 of them, aren't they?
Yeah, I think total is there's going to be 2 different versions of it, and I think one was going to be 150 and the other one was going to be 150. So, but it looks like an old Defender.
It looks really cool.
It looks sick, and it's got a 5-liter V8 in it, which is probably a Jag V8, which
Yeah.
means it's probably a Coyote motor.
Yep. And it kind of looks that way.
Yeah, and it's 400 horsepower. It's all kind of adding up to the same thing, if you know what I mean. But it's pretty cool. I like it, and it's very expensive though.
150,000
Wasn't-
euro.
Wasn't that exactly the opposite of what the Defender was supposed to be?
Yeah, I mean, the
150,000.
original Defender was supposed to be an off-road vehicle. It was supposed to be
cheap,
utilitarian.
utilitarian,
It had like a
easy to-
2.2 liter diesel that made literally 90 horsepower. I mean, it didn't really move very well. But this is like the G-Wagon effect, you know?
Right, yeah.
Throw some AMG badges on it, charge $200,000 for it, and let's sell some.
And people want it.
People want it. I'm sure there will be a guy, or there will definitely be 150 guys that go, everybody else in my neighborhood has bought the G63. I'm going to go out and buy the Defender, what do they call this thing? Works V8, and be different, but have something equally terrible.
I would take this over a G-Wagon all day.
The really sad thing is,
I would not.
Really?
I'd rather have like Douchey Robbie's coming out. I'd rather have a G-Wagon.
you'd rather bling around in your G-Wagon with
Yeah.
all that chrome and the badges and the side pipes and all that bullshit. You would
Yeah.
rather do that than drive around in this majestic.
Nope.
Date.
Yes.
This sounds like it would rattle to death while you're driving down the highway.
You don't think a G-Wagon doesn't?
Less than this vehicle.
I don't think that G-Wagons are probably especially refined.
Maybe they're a lot better than they were.
I'm sure
20
they're a
years
lot
ago.
better now.
I'll say it's a
but-
Mercedes. It can't be a complete piece of shit.
Have you been in a Sprinter?
It's a new
Yes,
Mercedes.
and they're terrible.
They are awful. They are rattly. The engines are rattly. Everything about it's terrible. I would much rather have this over a
Yeah.
G-Wagon. Plus, it's got that Coyote in it, so you can service it. You can service it anywhere.
Yeah, it's fine.
Have fun servicing your 6.2 liter
Twin turbo.
now it's probably a 4 liter. Have fun servicing your 4 liter twin
well,
turbocharged.
when I take that to the Mercedes dealer, they'll know what it is.
So I've been doing some work downtown this week, and in the parking garage that we were in yesterday, there was somebody that came rumbling through in an AMG G-Wagon. They sound really good.
There was I think it's the dentist over by where I go to the gym. He has a E63. And when he
Yeah.
starts that thing, it like shakes the whole building. It's like, damn, dude. That
And
thing is sick.
I don't think that G-Wagon was modified. I just think they sound
Robbie,
like
that is such bad taste, man.
I
Look
know.
at that thing.
Isn't it awful?
We're looking at a G-Wagon.
It's great.
AMG G-Wagon. That thing is disgusting.
know what I really want is
the
the
six-wheel drive one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you and Dan Blazarian.
6x6. That's what I want.
Man, what is wrong? I feel like Robbie's changed.
That
over the
was
course of
not
this
what I would
podcast.
have called on the Robbie.
No,
front.
he literally talked about just blowing a whole bunch of money for no reason in particular.
Yeah, $1,500 sushi budget.
Now he's saying he wants to buy this stupid 6x6.
This would be
AMG
so much fun.
that there's like 3 of, and they're
I
like
don't-
$500,000.
I don't think that it's as good as you think it is.
Oh, I never said it was good. Not once.
I don't think it'd be that much fun.
Oh, it'd be fun.
I think that you'd be real pissed off when some idiot in an FJ just goes strolling right by you as you're stuck in the sand.
God, I love FJs. FJs are where it's at.
Your porta potty is going to be a lot cheaper than that stupid.
And
I'd-
probably more capable.
well,
Probably.
okay. So I have to choose this or, well, not this one, but
You're going to go back to the bling-tastic.
The blinged one.
Oh, God.
or this piece of dog shit.
See, that it's understated, Robbie. Understated. Listen.
It's simple.
Adam, here's
and
the
elegant.
problem. Neither one of us have carbon fiber hoods now. You see where I'm going with this? That's the difference.
Blingy bling.
Rice.
This guy over here is, yeah, definitely, for
Ricer.
sure. Ricer, 100%.
That's the
carbon
issue.
fiber.
Robbie's got a higher level of ricer than we do.
Carbon
Therefore,
fiber.
G-Wagon.
He's got
To
the
the max.
he's got the chrome wrap. He's got
To the max.
Did you get your underglow hooked back up again? Or is that next on the list?
No, it's not on the list.
Come on, Robbie.
My drift car. If I have a drift car, that'll have
Nah,
underglow.
change the track game. Put some underglow on that shit.
No.
nighttime. Sun starts going down. You got purple underglow and your subs going. You kidding me?
You can't have
Changing
subs.
the game, Robbie. All the media guys will be like, "Damn, what the fuck's that?"
Look at that ricer.
Taking pictures. Ended up all over the internet. End up on the Grid Life homepage.
I'll be honest.
Grid Life's a big party, man.
I know it is.
You put some subs and some underglow on there, you'll be a popular dude.
I kind of didn't like the fact that my hood's so shiny compared to the rest of my car.
How dare you?
It's high gloss.
Hit it with some real
Well-
nice sandpaper. It'll flat out a little
Well, I
bit.
got to put a protective cover or film on it. And Vivid makes a satin one. So I'm going to buy that and see if that looks okay. If it looks like shit, I'll pull it off. Got to protect it.
You got that carbon fiber hood, people.
I did.
He did. It does look ridiculous. Ridiculous in the best way, though. I mean, it's that.
It really pulls
That car
the car.
looks
So,
different.
Pulls
are
the
you
car
going to
together.
buy some street tires for the end keys so that you can rock those full time?
Yeah, it's on my to-do list.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
because
I will.
Those look money.
Well, that's the
on
only
there
reason
now.
I built the fender flares.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were planning
No.
on keeping the Hoosiers and doing.
Well,
the
I'll
back
burn-
and
I'll
forth.
burn- I'll
Right,
burn
no, I
through
wouldn't
these and
expect
then-
you not to.
No, then I'll get 200 treadwears.
So,
Okay.
are you going to get another set of Hoosiers?
No.
Okay. So, on those wheels, did those wheels come off at 240? You bought those from a 240 dude.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Did he have a wide body kit on?
I don't know. I never saw his car.
Because that looks
My
like
offset-
that was a necessity.
It absolutely is a necessity.
So I don't know
it
how
sticks
he-
out like crazy.
I don't know how he was pulling that off. Is
They
my
probably
question.
just put some of those bolt-on over fenders and
Yeah, I don't know how he did it because I'm sticking out like crazy, and I
what are
have
those 3-inch flares? Probably.
The backs are 3s, the fronts are 2s. Or,
So that's significant.
yep. Well, then I actually have to be running the half-inch spacers because otherwise I'm touching my suspension.
Oh,
So it's
So he might have had like a smaller spring package on his.
well, I got coilovers. They don't get smaller than that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so I have the smallest setup you can get.
Wonder what-
And I was still touching. Barely, but I was touching the front.
I wonder what that guy was doing.
Rockin' Mad Camber.
Or is the wheel touching or just the tire?
Just the tire.
I wonder if he was stretching like a 225 on those because those are 9-inch.
9.5.
I bet he was stretching a tire.
Drifting-
225
drift
on a 9.5 is not that extreme of a stretch.
Yeah, and that Prix would have worked.
that's what he was doing.
He said he was drifting with it. I don't know.
But that's what he's doing. Or he's just not giving a fuck because that's what drifters do.
That too.
Send it.
Let him stick out.
Send it. Rub all the.
But I
rub all the
wanted
rubber off.
room for more tire.
No, if he was really a drifter, he spent $3,000 on a wide body kit and then wiped it out in the first weekend and just said screw it.
Yeah, so he
Yeah,
probably had
boy.
a Rocket Bunny setup or something.
Full on. Just imported from Japan. Explodes it on
On a curb
a
somewhere.
curb.
Yep.
That's what they do. It's a
Crazy
lifestyle choice.
bastards.
I don't get it, but
Well, anyway, since I mean,
We've migrated away here.
right.
But
The point
Defender
is,
things.
Robbie's wrong about the
I'm not.
AMG, but
Are you surprised by this fact though?
I would have thought he might like the Defender. I don't know.
I would never have guessed he would have taken that over the AMG over that though.
I mean, let's be clear. I wouldn't pay 150,000
No,
pounds.
this
for
is very
That's
theoretical.
crazy.
Right.
I'd rather have somebody like a company LS swap one for me, and then buy that
Well-
from them for like 80 grand. Than
Yeah,
some-
that,
So-
that makes more sense.
Our friend Ian Wright had a V8 swap Defender when he was younger and still lived in England.
okay.
I feel like because those have got to be on the 25-year rule, right?
You could find a Defender. They're pretty
So,
expensive, but you could find
are
them.
they?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I could ship an old Defender over here and put a V8 in it for a whole lot less money than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it'd be cooler because it's the old one.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree.
100%.
It'd be worse and therefore better.
Much better. Much better.
Agreed. So that's crazy. They're going to sell all of them. The AMGs,
They've already sold all of them.
they probably have. The AMG is awful in every way.
It's nice.
But let's move on.
So bad.
There's so many of them in this town.
Everywhere.
I don't get it. It's a lot of money. It's seriously a lot of money.
Even the cheap one is a lot of money.
Yeah, it's still 100 grand. I don't know.
There's a lot of things I'd buy for 100 grand before that car. It's very, very low on the list. One step above this
Defender. It's only one above.
At least it's only one rung, right?
That's fair.
Yeah, they're both very low, but
Renault Nissan declares itself the largest automaker in the world.
asterisk.
Using
Asterisk.
very shifty math.
So their CEO, whose last name is Gosin, I think. Gosin. It's a very weird spelling. Ghosn. He claims that they are the largest automaker in the world, and they sold 10.6 million vehicles in 2017. The kicker to that is VW says they sold 10.7 million. Robbie, you're an engineer.
Mathematically, this doesn't work.
So what he's claiming is that number includes Volkswagen's commercial fleet.
Which is 200,000 vehicles.
And
Heavy trucks. Sorry.
Nissan's number doesn't.
Right.
So you'd have to do some really hardcore hashtag real journalism to figure this out, and I didn't have time to do that because I've been gone all week. But Renault sells, and so does Nissan.
Yes.
Sells heavy, like
Fleet vehicles.
3,500, full ton fleet vehicles.
There is a bid from the Nissan dealership for my new truck sitting on my boss's desk right now.
And does that count towards their 10.6?
That's the question that I have.
I assume it does.
So if you're penalizing VW for 10.7, what's your commercial vehicle sales? Because Nissan's been pushing that hard, and Renault has theirs too. And he wouldn't have brought this up at all if they had the full. You know what I mean? If the reason he's bringing
They
this
could
up
have
now,
added their commercial fleet on there and beat Volkswagen. He wouldn't have stated it in such a way.
right?
right.
So the
Which
whole
means they
thing
did.
is shady, just in general.
Right. It's silly.
Advertising bullshit all the time.
It is advertising bullshit. We're talking about it. He's on the drive, whatever. And
Well, and I just wanted to talk about it because it's shifty math no matter how you look at it.
yeah.
And
Well, technically.
yeah. Oh, my dick's bigger than yours.
Technically.
That's really what it boils down to here.
Yeah.
The really crazy thing about this is I was like, there's no way Renault Nissan's even in like the top 4. I was like, that can't be true. So I looked it up. GM in 2016, and I don't think their data's out yet, but the companies that track some of this stuff are saying that sales are down in general for automakers for 2017.
Yep.
But they're saying GM, so basically 2016, sold 10.3 million, and Toyota sold 10.2. So,
I always thought that Toyota was the biggest selling automaker in the world.
well, I think when they became the biggest selling auto, when they surpassed GM, whatever that was 5 years ago, I think they made a huge deal about it.
So now everybody just thinks that they still are.
And GM's just like, whatever, we're just making cars. Like, okay, cool. Cool story.
Yeah.
But I think it's crazy that merger made those two the biggest automaker in asterisks, in the world.
Renault must sell a lot of cars in Europe because Nissan's not selling that many cars here.
I think you'd be surprised.
I think they
Versus Volkswagen or Toyota, though? Or GM?
Well, I think there's such a price difference too. I mean, because if you look at the Nissan prices to the comparable Toyota, I mean, it's a pretty big jump.
For Toyotas, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they sell a fair bit of Nissans. I do. If somebody said who sells more cars in the U.S., Nissan or GM, I'd tell them, is that a serious question? Because I mean,
GM.
yeah, GM. If you
all
count,
day.
if you count everything, doesn't matter what it is, cars, trucks, commercial vehicles, it doesn't matter. GM's
Right.
crushing it compared to Nissan.
Right.
But yeah, so to me, the whole thing's
But
weird.
if GM's selling $10.3 million car or 10.3 million cars, 9.3 million of them are probably sold here in the U.S., whereas Nissan is probably maybe half their sales if they're lucky here.
Well, I think probably GM's saving grace and has been for a while is China. Now, we did talk some time ago
that's
about
fair.
how they sold off part of their European division, so maybe that number went down too. Maybe it's 9 something because they're not selling cars in Europe anymore. But yeah, the whole thing is just kind of wild that Renault Nissan's as big as they are.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Still can't believe Volkswagen's still as big as they are.
Scams don't matter, dude.
No one
Scandals
cares.
don't
Nobody
matter.
cares.
Nobody cares. So it's fine.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Just buy those cars.
up next we have F1 teams agree on rules to make 2019 bodywork more sponsor friendly.
So
And Robbie's got a picture here pulled up of the main offender.
I don't know how I feel about this.
So basically, less louvers, more flat spots, right?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
this thing that's on the screen right now is called a barge board, apparently. It's right in front of basically where the driver's legs would be.
By
if
the
they're-
pedals.
Yeah, the pedals.
Behind the front wheels.
Directly behind the front wheel.
Yeah, and it blocks, well, you can see in that picture it's blocking part of the Red Bull logo, but from, several different angles it blocks part of the side of the car. So there was some concern that the sponsorship logos have been covered up or had to be made smaller to be made visible, and so for 2018 they've revised some of these body panels, the barge boards, the rear wing, etc.
Front,
So,
the splitter, stuff like that.
yeah,
too.
so that they have more flat spots.
So I think that this probably also means less downforce, which, as I've said in the past, I'm actually all for, because I think it's going to make tighter racing.
Yeah.
And so part of me is okay with it, but also I feel like they're doing it for the wrong reasons. Because the only reason they're doing that is because sponsors want more real estate for their money. And so that decision isn't being driven by the racing, it's being driven by the money. And I feel like if they made that decision, if they would have made that decision and put it driven by racing, everybody would have won.
Or even just advertise it as such. Like if you have the meeting, you're like, advertisers go, we want more space, and then we're like, well, we want more competitive racing. Win-win.
Oh, so you're saying if Formula One had come to the table and kind of said, "Hey,
like
we're doing this to reduce downforce to try to speed up the racing," and meanwhile everybody else is like, "Yeah, good, let's do that."
It would have made me feel better about this story.
That would have been way smarter.
Because I just feel like this is just a money grab thing for me, and so at the end of the day, what I come to that racing for doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the advertiser dollar, which doesn't make me want to come and watch it, which makes advertisers not want to put money into it.
Well, so my only thing on this is that this benefits the teams, not F1 as an organization necessarily.
Yeah.
This is allowing the teams to get the funding that they need to race, because one of the biggest complainers about this was McLaren. So in my mind, if McLaren's complaining about it, it probably is a legitimate concern, and maybe that's why they made the change, because I mean it sounded like everybody was complaining about it, but McLaren was the most vocal that it was a problem. So if it was Forza India that was driving this, I might have been like, okay, that might just be a money grab. But if it's McLaren, it's because they've got a real problem, or they had a budget set out, and then the 2017 cars came out, and the advertisers went, dude, what the shit? Like,
I
can't even see they can't see my logo anymore. I'm not gonna pay you.
Well, same with that, like
$10 million.
Well, like that Puma logo right there. Do you really think anyone's seeing that outside of this stupid picture?
I didn't see it until you just zoomed
It's
in.
a tiny little cat right next to the R on Red Bull.
Yeah, it's like the size of a watch.
Or like Alpha used to have like a sticker
Yeah,
on, was it the
clover
Ferrari
leaf.
car?
Yeah.
On the nose.
Yeah,
Alpha's in racing. No, they're not.
they have a sticker in racing.
We gave Ferrari $4. So I think you're absolutely right. They should have just no, this makes the racing better, and
just
it's,
package it a little
It
different.
would have made me feel better about it, and everybody would have won.
absolutely.
Because now I just feel like they're pandering to the sponsor, not to the viewer. And really, you need to be catering to the viewer, and then the viewers will stay, and so will the sponsors.
Yeah, this may ultimately put a bad taste in some viewers' mouths. So they should have definitely reframed this to make it a win-win.
In this world of political correctness and people being all concerned about those sort of things, somebody would have picked up on that.
Or just the fact that I think what's the name of the media group again?
Liberty.
They have a vested interest in making it more appealing to more people.
Right.
So
That's
appealing
what
to
they're
the
all
audience is the whole point of this whole deal. So that's what they should have done.
I mean, in reality, it probably doesn't change significantly. They might make 19,990 pounds of downforce instead of 20,000 pounds of downforce,
Sure,
or whatever
right,
that
yeah.
number is. But still, you could have made me feel a little better.
Can you scroll down, Robbie, to there's the rear wing. That's kind of that.
That's
shows.
more significant.
Yeah, because
change.
look at all those
small logos.
Yeah, the fins and all that, the cutouts in that rear wing. And
Yeah, so those will be gone.
Yeah, so now they can.
The fronts, like I think it was the Ferrari, you could see like there was 3 or 4 different levels. I'm sure that'll just be one flat level now.
They're just like splitter on splitter on splitter on splitter action.
Yep.
It's very confusing to look at.
No,
The other thing is, I
there we
think
go.
that doing this will make the cars look better.
I agree.
That seems to be really important to Formula One fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
More so than
actually,
I would have thought.
I'm all for like louvers and all like aero stuff.
Right.
But I think that the newest Formula One cars it was just too weird of aero.
It's getting a little too out there.
I'm sure it worked. I'm sure it did exactly what it was supposed to. But like these weird, the shark fin and then those extra wing things and
Cutouts
just
and
make them just
louvers and
I'm like in that respect, just make them get rid get rid of some of the aero. Just make them race.
Plus, everybody always goes back and talks about how back in the day, Jackie Stewart and blah, 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 there's no downforce of racing, it was competitive, and blah, 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 and all this. Everybody thinks of that as like the highlight and the heyday of Formula One.
Put them on like shitty bias ply slicks and give them like 3 pounds of uplift, like don't even make it so that if you go too fast, the front end comes off the ground. I don't care, but like make those back ends slide around a little bit, make them wiggle under braking, make them fucking drive those things. It's way more interesting to watch.
Yep.
Or deregulate. Screw it. No rules. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, that would work too. I am sick of the single file line races.
Mild side note, as we look at this picture here, that car's on wets. Formula One cars on tires with tread patterns looks really fucking weird.
It is a little bit
It is
weird.
super weird.
It's a little off-putting, frankly. It's very strange. I don't think I've ever seen a car on wets before, so.
Oh, really?
Not for
I don't
extended
pay-
periods of
I
time.
don't pay
but-
attention.
They had
to
a,
it that
they had a few
closely.
races this year in the
Well,
wet.
yeah, I know, but when the car's moving, it's one thing. When it's
Oh, yeah,
parked,
yeah.
you never see pictures of cars parked
It's
with
true.
wets on them.
Or
Or
like-
always on slicks.
When we were at PRI, everything's on slicks.
Right,
Not
yeah.
on wet tires.
Right, yeah.
So that's just what you see.
That's
It's
what
just
you,
weird
That's
to
what you
see.
should do is bring your car to PRI with wets on it, and we're like, "Did you see that car with wets?
That's weird, man.
It's a weird one
This is
over
an
there.
off-road Formula car.
Yeah, what
is
the
it?
hell's
It's
going on
crazy.
here?
What are you guys doing over here?
Lifted up like
Yeah, to make
8
like
inches
jack it
off
up.
the ground.
yeah, make sure everybody sees it.
So.
Anyway, next story. So the first ZR1 Corvette sold at auction for $925,000.
Calm down. Seriously, why?
Asterisk.
Yeah,
hold on,
yeah,
hold
this is-
on,
I know.
hold on.
This is a publicity
I understand
stunt.
that. It's a charity
It's a
thing. That's what
charity
they do.
thing.
Well, it's a charity thing wrapped up in about 6 publicity stunts.
Yes.
And it is genius. And if GM came up with this, props to them. I will
No,
take
Barrett
back.
Jackson's been doing that sort of stuff for years.
No, but the GM does this every single year. Every single year they come out with a car, they give it to Barrett Jackson, and they say they're going to give it to charity.
VIN number 1.
Yeah, this is a GM. This started with GM. They went to Barrett Jackson. Barrett Jackson said, "Yes, we can. That'll go all over the internet and TV and all that bullshit." And then who won it again?
Hendricks.
Rick Hendrick went, "Yeah, I'll buy that because my name will end up everywhere else too." Hendrick Motorsports and Automotive Group. I'll spend $1 million
Also,
on
tax
it.
write-off.
Tax write-off.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he bought a $120,000 Corvette and wrote an $800,000 charity check.
Yeah.
No, he wrote a $925,000. All of it went.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I see what you're
800,000
He
of
got
it.
a Corvette out
He
of
bought
it,
a
yeah.
Corvette.
he bought a Corvette
and then donated $800,000.
Yeah, and then GM turned around and gave all the money
Right.
that from
Yeah, and
I see what you're
the
saying.
funny thing is he's done this with the 18 Camaro ZL1 and then also the first VIN NSX.
I think he paid $1 million for the ZL1 too, which is crazy.
Christ.
I mean, they literally do this every year, every
So-
other year.
Same guy every year.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Just keep going.
So-
if you watch it, they're literally like, no, just keep going. Just
Rick's got it.
Just give it. I want it. I want to give it to me.
So that Hendrick guy got a tax write-off, and so did GM, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because GM
I mean-
will write off the 120.
They'll write off the car.
Yeah.
It's a drop in the bucket for them, but yeah.
Yeah, but still.
Absolutely.
Jesus. Talk about Ponzi schemes.
No. They don't get their money back. Let's not.
I understand
get that.
But it's, I mean, they're writing that shit off. And
Yeah.
oh, look at that. We didn't make any money this year.
Well, or maybe you just call it advertising expense too.
Whatever you wanna
maybe
call
that
it.
too. But that's all write off too, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's a quite the deal. It's a very smart move. But yeah, people are like, oh, why would you? It's just the first one. Like, there's gonna be more. No, you don't get it.
No,
That's
clearly-
not the point. You're not understanding how this works.
I still think it's a bit outrageous.
It is.
There was a lot of people that, like on the comment section of all these articles, that just could not grasp the concept that this was a charity.
Yeah.
Like,
Do
why
they-
would he spend $1 million on a Corvette?
Did they name the charity?
Yeah, it's the Wounded Warriors or something. Or,
no, it was one I hadn't heard of. Steven Siller Tunnel to Towers Foundation. So what they do is they basically try to provide mortgage-free housing for wounded veterans.
Thank you.
Oh.
Through different levels, like building houses or buying houses and then giving them away, or paying off mortgages, or et cetera, et cetera.
Well, that would certainly pay off my mortgage.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
they were. I'm sure they were happy to almost get $1 million
Yeah.
check. It worked
Yeah.
out well for them.
That's awesome.
I don't know that the other ones have been the same. Because I thought one was like a children's charity one year.
I thought it was too.
So I think they switched
I'm sure
it up.
that they rotate that around a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah, spread the wealth a little bit.
Absolutely. So anyway, Barrett Jackson in all of its insanity
It is a great looking car.
They are cool looking, aren't they?
I love it.
Can you imagine, Robbie, in 10 years what you'll be able to buy one of those for?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah, 150 grand.
No. You kidding me?
That's the end of an era.
Corvettes don't hang out that
That's
long.
the end of an era.
No, not in 10 years.
Nobody cares about the end of an era. They care about the beginning of an era.
They're going to be mid-engined after this.
Yeah,
This
they'll
will
all-
be the last great front-engined Corvette.
Everyone
That
wa-
sucker's never going to drop in price.
Everyone wants the mid-engine.
That car's no, I don't think that's true. That car's never going to drop in price.
I strongly disagree.
I also disagree.
I think they're going to keep making front engine Corvettes. I think the C8, the Zora thing is going to be its own thing, and they're going to keep making this for a while at least. And I think they're going to run. I think the Zora will be more like a Ford GT, but not quite so absurd and up its own ass.
That's good.
There's packages, and you got to be selected, and John Cena gets one, and all this dumb shit like that. Like
It's got an ego boost.
Yeah. It's got a Taurus engine. Like, what the fuck's that about? It's weird. So,
Well, I mean, to be fair, you could claim that. I mean, if it's got it's just an Impala engine. If you want
the
to be
Impala
that way about
has
it.
a Corvette engine in it. Everyone knows that.
it goes backwards.
If
Yeah.
you want to be that way about it,
Corvette was first.
That's how everybody is with the Caprices, like that had the LT
Yeah.
ones. Oh, it's got the Corvette
got the
motor.
Corvette motor.
Like, not at all, but yeah, that's
I got
cool.
a 240 SX. It's got the Corvette motor in it. Everybody knows.
Do you explain that to people, like people at work, though? Is that how you explain it to people?
If people are not car people or like, have any interest in cars, and they're like, someone says you put a V8, Corvette engine. I took a Corvette
I'm
engine.
going to say
and put it-
Camaro because that's really what it is, and that's just as
Same thing.
understandable.
Depends on who I'm talking to. Camaro, Corvette. That's what I got. I took that one and put it in this one.
I do that same thing because people
No
don't
one-
don't get it.
Yeah.
Like you try to explain to them, no, it's got a cop car motor. They like look at you kind of weird, like what? They just don't.
There's a lot of people that think that cop cars are hopped up versions of their
Yeah.
pedestrian car.
They do. Yeah.
And they're not.
No.
But a lot of people believe that.
True.
Even car people believe
Yeah.
that.
Yes. I don't know how that rumor got started, but yeah.
If you really want to see people like roll their eyes at you, be like, yeah, I had the KA24 and then I swapped in the SR20 and then I got sick of that and I dropped in the LS1.
But it's
What
got
are you
the,
following
it's got the
here? I don't
893.
even
It's got the
understand.
893 heads. It's got blah, blah,
Yeah,
cam
yeah.
left is blah,
Yep.
0.568, and there's like.
What aren't you getting about this? I don't.
Yeah, it's
Come on, people.
all right there.
It's simple.
I got a build sheet. Here you go.
I went from 4-cylinder turbo. Now I have 8 cylinders. It's twice as good.
Okay.
I don't know.
So anyway, that's it. Expensive Corvette goes to charity. Barrett Jackson's still crazy. I saw a little extra coverage from Barrett Jackson, and it's still all the insanity it's always been. But
Everyone needs to go to Barrett Jackson once.
yeah, I really
need
do
to.
want to go to
They-
Scottsdale.
They hold all the cars. All of the cars that are going to be sold during the week have to be there from day one through the end. Even if they've rolled across the block already, they can't leave the premise. So regardless of what day you go, you get to see everything.
That's nice.
And so it's a very cool thing to do.
It's like a car show where Barrett Jackson makes millions of dollars. That's basically what it
Win-win.
is.
But
Yeah,
you see a lot of stuff that
Some.
you kind of get to see a lot of stuff that you wouldn't normally see, but at the same time, it's still just a Chevelle, it's just a Corvette,
Yeah.
it's just a Cuda, but it's the only one. But it's also, I mean,
Yeah, and every once in a while you'll get a V12 Zephyr, or you'll get,
yeah,
who knows?
Like when
what
I
else, some
went,
crazy Lincoln.
it wasn't Jay Leno's; it was the twin thereof. But that tank car,
Yeah,
that one was there, and they sell some stuff like that occasionally, but they have like a big flea market swap meet type thing with vendors in it, and I mean there's a lot of other stuff to do. It's a good time. It's something that I think everyone should go to.
that'd be another cheap vacation.
Yeah.
What was your Scottsdale flight? Was it like $700?
$500
Phoenix flight?
I mean,
$500?
Phoenix is a hub, so
I
it's
want to say it was
cheap.
only like $20 to walk through the front door,
Probably.
and there wasn't
Can't imagine it's that much.
There wasn't like a VIP act. Like you got to walk in the tent and watch cars roll, whether you had a paddle
paddle.
or not. You can't go all the way right up to the
Right.
front, but you can stand there and there's like stands, and you can go and sit and watch cars roll across the block for however long you want. So it's cool.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's it for this week.
That's all I got.
Boom. Catch you guys next week.